Welcome to Recollection Mall. If you were a mall rat like me, or spent your formative years hanging out or being dragged to the mall by your parents or your parental units, then you've come to the right place. Have you ever gone into your childhood, teenage, or current mall and wondered, wasn't there a store or restaurant there? So let's take a trip down memory lane and take a look at that mall's history of yesteryear. Be sure you stick around to the end of this video and see if you can take my mall survey. So leave a comment or a memory of this mall below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks. The Connecticut Post Center was developed by New York City's Saul Atlas and was designed by Lathrop Douglas and Jesse James Hamblin. Construction started on Connecticut's first shopping mall in November of 1957. The open-air facility was constructed on a 75-acre parcel located about 6 miles southwest of downtown New Haven in suburban Milford. The site was adjacent to a newly constructed segment of the Connecticut Turnpike, Interstate 95. The 500,000 square foot retail complex was hailed as the largest between New York City and Boston. It consisted of a single level of retail with a service basement. This was accessed by 2 service tunnels. On September 14, 1960, the first stores in the $30 million venue opened for business. The grand opening commenced at 7 p.m. and extended into the night, which included fireworks, a parade, dancing, fashion shows, concerts, and appearances by several dignitaries. 50 stores and services would eventually be housed in the Connecticut Post Center. Stores like County Hardware, Franklin Simon, Kennedy's of New England, a W.T. Grant's Variety Store, an S.S. Kresge 5 and Dime, Bradley's, and a Stop and Shop supermarket. The new mall was anchored by a 3-level, 155,000 square foot Alexander's, which opened on August 21, 1962. On April 2, 1965, single-screen General Cinema Corporation, Milford Cinema, was built as a southwest parking lot outparcel, which was officially dedicated on April 2, 1965. The mall had some early competitors: the Trumbull Shopping Park in 1964 and the Chapel Square, New Haven's downtown redevelopment shopping center, which was completed in 1967. By the early 1970s, several charter tenants at Connecticut Post Center had closed. The shopping mall had now housed such stores as Giftique, Lynn's Hallmark, Wayland Drug, Friendly Frost Appliances, and Hill's Supermarket. The Post Mini Mall contained 12 boutique-type stores. A fire spread through the south end of the complex in May of 1976. The Hills Supermarket, Lynn's Hallmark, and W.J. Sloan Furniture Store were completely destroyed. The area was rebuilt as a 2-level, 86,000 square foot Caldor Discount Mart, which opened for business on April 27, 1977. The open shopping concourse had been fitted with a sky shield type of partial enclosure in the late 1970s. This afforded some protection from the elements, but did not provide for heating or air conditioning of the space. In 1981, Westfield acquired the mall and renovated it to a fully enclosed and climate-controlled facility. It was officially called the Connecticut Post Mall, but the locals continued to refer to it as the Milford Mall. In 1988, Alexander's closed. This store reopened as a JCPenney on August 7, 1991. At the time, the shopping center was undergoing a third renovation and expansion to the tune of $75 million. If you went to the mall in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, you may have remembered Nathan's Hot Dogs, Knickerbockers, Sbarro's, Wilson Suede and Leather, Spencer's, Tom McCann, Merle's Record Rack, Sib's Restaurant and Diner, Golden Joy Restaurant, Lum's, Pans Plus, Arthur's, Artie's Place, among others. In 1991, a 2-level, 150,000 square foot G. Fox & Company was built. It closed in 1993 and reopened as a rebranded Filings on February 1st, 1993. In the following year, the basement at the Connecticut Post Mall was refitted as a second retail concourse, which was level 1. In addition, the Sky View food court was installed on a newly constructed third floor. By November of 1998, the official name of the complex was changed to Westfield Shoppingtown Connecticut Post. At this time, the mall encompassed around 777,000 leasable square feet and housed 132 stores and services. The Stop and Shop supermarket moved to a freestanding location. Its store on the north end of the mall was razed. In May of 1999, Caldor closed. On April 1st, 2000, a two-level 178,000 square foot Sears took its place and opened for business. In 2003, Westfield officials proposed a large expansion of the mall. The plan proposed construction of a 480,000 square foot addition at the mall's south end. The city of Milford approved Westfield's plans in April of 2003. A groundbreaking ceremony for the $118 million project was held on October 2004, and the site work began in December of 2004. Site work for the expansion entailed the closure and demolition of the Milford Fourplex cinemas in January of 2005. B. Dalton Books closed in April of 2005. The Skyview Cafe, located on the third floor of the mall's center court, was closed as part of the expansion. The abandoned Caldor and some adjacent south end store spaces were demolished. In all, 480,000 square feet of new retail and entertainment area was constructed. New stores and new services included a single-level 125,000 square foot Target, a two-level 84,000 square foot Dick's Sporting Goods, a 13-bay food court, a state-of-the-art movie multiplex, and two 500-car parking garages. Target was dedicated on March 1st, 2006 with the Showcase Cinema Deluxe 14 showing first features on March 10th. At the same time, a third level consisting of 75,000 square feet was added to Filings. In September of 2006, the 225,000 square foot Filings closed and reopened as a rebranded Macy's on September 9th, 2006. It was now officially known as the Westfield Connecticut Post. The shopping complex encompassed 1.3 million leasable square feet and housed over 150 stores and services. It had parking for over 3,800 cars. The Cinema Deluxe 14 would be later rebranded as the Rave Motion Pictures Connecticut Post 14 in May of 2010. In November of that same year, one of its auditoriums reopened as an IMAX theater. In March of 2011, Borders Books closed its location at the mall. In June of 2013, the venue was rebranded under the Cinemark banner. In December of 2015, Westfield sold the shopping mall to a joint venture of San Antonio's USAA Real Estate, Dallas's Centennial Real Estate, and San Francisco Montgomery Street Partners. Its official name was reverted back to the Connecticut Post Mall. In July of 2017, JCPenney closed. On October 4th, 2018, Boscov's expanded their vacant store from 155,000 to 200,000 square feet and opened for business. Much has changed by late 2018. The cinema megaplex had been rebranded on 2 occasions. It became Rave Venue in 2010 and then Cinemark Venue in 2013. In 2018, Sears closed. By 2020, the mall's tenants began leaving. Plans were drawn up to revitalize the center in response to the changing tastes of consumers. Centennial officials announced plans to build a luxury residential development on a vacant portion of the mall's property. Plans were submitted, but an ensuing battle between Milford's zoning and planning commissions caused the two sides to keep redrawing the plans, which would take over 3 years to approve. The parties agreed to allow for an addition of 750 units of housing at the mall. Housing would be added to the site in phases, with each of the 3 phases entailing the addition of 250 housing units over a period of 10 years. Today, the three-level, 1.3 million square foot mall features 125 stores and is anchored by a Macy's, Dick's Sporting Goods, Target, Boscov's, and a Dave & Buster's. It is the largest mall in the state of Connecticut. Congratulations!
Still here? It's over. Whoa. When I find you...
Pop quiz, hotshot.
This is only a test.
So if you've gotten this far into the video, thanks. So how many anchor stores closed or changed names at this mall? So if your answer is 5, give yourself a hand. You were paying attention. Thanks for watching. So what are some of your memories of this mall? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to Recollection Mall. Add your name to the mall directory. Thanks.